Good morning, Assalamu alaikum. This is the Light School Nushaira campus. It's our biology class 10th, and the lecture is of week number 12. Today's topic is global warming, which is mentioned on page number 151 and 152 of your biology textbook. So, by giving a start to it, what we have, that is the definition of global warming, right? Definition of global warming. What global warming is? Globe means world, and warming means it's heating up regularly. How do it heat up now? So if you remember our last topic before ozone depletion, it was, what was that? Before ozone depletion, we were having a topic that was greenhouse effect. Do you remember? Greenhouse effect. In that greenhouse effect, we learned that there are many gases, and these gases act as a greenhouse. Greenhouse is the artificial heat provided to the plants to grow or to cultivate in an unnatural way, right? So the greenhouse effect is promoted by greenhouse gases. These greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, they are methane gas, they are nitrogen oxides, and particularly this is ozone, right? Except ozone, we are having water vapors as greenhouse gas as well. So how is this greenhouse effect proceed? That is that these gases do not allow the radiations which are emitted by Earth to go to space. How? Because they absorb these radiations. Obviously, we know that when sun radiations or when sun is sending its UV rays down, so first of all, they are in the stratospheric lower layer. What do we have? There is a layer known as ozone. So ozone filters those radiations and then sends the other IR radiations to the earth, right? Invisible radiation. So when these radiations come to troposphere, they are absorbed. Some of them are absorbed by these gases and are absorbed by the earth. Okay. Then when it is night and there is no sun, then obviously the earth re-emits or re-radiates these radiations back, and then these radiations have to go to the space. But there are certain gases in the atmosphere which do not allow these gases to flee or to escape the Earth's atmosphere, right? And that is why we say that our Earth continuously heats up. Our atmosphere is heating up regularly, or the temperature is now increasing day by day. So what is the reason for that? The reason for that is all these greenhouse gases. Though we know that this is having carbon, this is having nitrogen, it's having oxygen, this is water, of course it's much needed chemical or compound of the earth, but and they are quite, all of them are required for living, right? But what is the case? The case is that if they are in natural proportion, then they are okay and they are very helpful to us. If they are naturally produced, that is, they are constant, if they are kept constant, then they are very helpful to us. But if they are not constantly produced, and if we are using industries, we are having many of the industries, these industries, all the gases, they are evaporating day by day. the competition among the living graces that he has an AC in his house, so I would like to have too. So all these ACs in the houses, they are also giving chlorofluorocarbons to the environment, right? Except them, what do we have? That is what we can say, vehicles, your planes, yes, your planes, aeroplanes, rockets, and except them, the trains, right? And motorcycles, motorbikes. So all these things, they are increasing the limits, they are increasing the percentages of these greenhouse gases, and then these greenhouse gases would require would be more in the environment, and so they will absorb more heat. So when they absorb more heat, they will not radiate it to the space, but instead they will keep our environment warm. And that warming of the environment, that warming of our globe, that warming of our land, of our earth, of our atmosphere, that is known as global warming, which have certain harmful effects as well. So let's give a read. If I miss anything, and if there is anything difficult, so I'll explain that to you. Global warming is caused by increasing the concentration of greenhouse gases, which are mostly produced by human activities such as deforestation and burning of fossil fuels. So if you look here, that is the concentration of greenhouse gases is increasing, right? So how is this concentration increases? That's just by deforestation or by burning fossil fuels. How do we burn the fossil fuels? That is with the trains, right? Because we do have coal. Once we were using coals in them, the aeroplanes, the methane gas. So all these gases are your fossil fuels. So accepted, what they say that greenhouse gases include carbon dioxide, methane, nitrogen dioxide, and ozone. These gases act like greenhouse around the earth. These gases allow the visible and ultraviolet radiations from sun to enter into the earth, but they do not allow the heat to escape back into the atmosphere or into the space. So it's clear. So this entrapped heat causes global warming. I explained it already. Okay, the greenhouse effect is naturally occurring process. Without the greenhouse effect, life on earth would be probably not possible, as the average temperature of the earth would be about minus 18 degrees Celsius rather than present 15 degrees. So the natural greenhouse effect maintains the Earth's temperature at a safe level, making it possible for humans and many other life forms to exist. Okay. So what does it mean? I explained it already, but here probably you get a bit confused at what does this mean, minus 18 degrees Celsius and present 15 degrees Celsius. So I explained it over here. For example, this is our Earth. Here is sun. Right, sun radiations. So sun is sending its radiations, earth is absorbing them. Now now when it's night time, so there will be no sun, and obviously the earth will re-emit its radiations. And if there are no greenhouse gases, so what will be the case? The case will be that these radiations will go to the space. There would be no gas to absorb these radiations, and when these radiations go to the space, so this means that our atmosphere will be very cold, and that coolness of the atmosphere would be up till minus 18 degrees Celsius, and we cannot live at this temperature. We cannot be alive at this temperature, because 0 degrees Celsius is the freezing point of water, right? So because of the presence of greenhouse gases, they absorb these radiations from the earth and do not allow them to go back to the space. So similarly, what we can say, that they keep a constant temperature, or a temperature at which we can survive at night time, or when there is no sun falling on our area of earth, right? So if the concentration of greenhouse gases is natural, then global warming will not be produced and it will be a good effect of greenhouse gases. But because of all human activities, anthropogenic sources, greenhouse gases are increasing day by day, and because of that, as there is more concentration, so more heat will be absorbed and more heat would be then given off as well, right? So it is making our environment hotter and more hotter. Okay. However, the human activities significantly affect causing Earth's average temperature to rise. This is the cause of global warming. Research has shown over the last that average temperature has increased over the last few decades. Okay, and this global warming is then accelerating the melting of ice sheets. Ice sheets are the ice which is over water surface, right? Ice on hills and glaciers. On the hills sometimes there is ice and there are many glaciers. So when global warming increases, that heat increases, and the increase of heat will melt these ice sheets on water surfaces. These ice on hills and glaciers would be melted as well, and because of these melting, all the water will flow. The flow of water, the speed of water will be increased, and because of this the sea level increases. When sea level increases, so obviously we will face many floods, we will face cyclones, we will face hurricanes and all these things, right? And except all these, ozone layer is depleting. So if ozone layer is depleting, then obviously all the harmful radiations of sun would not be filtered, and then we will get harmful radiations of sun as well. Crop yield can be affected. How is it? So that is, if there is more water and more floods would come, all these floods will cause our crops to be destroyed. And similarly, if there is more global warming, so there would be heat, and what will happen, that there will be more evaporation and more transpiration. So if there is more transpiration, so the crops cannot survive then, right? Because all the heat, all the water is evaporating from them, and they do need water. So water, everything, excess of everything is bad. So if water is less, then that is bad. Or if there are floods, so obviously that is excess of water, so they will damage these yields as well. And precipitation is also affected, that is rain and snowfall, and health will be affected. How is precipitation affected? If you remember, we discussed it, that for example, again, this is our earth. What will happen, that if there are more radiations, there are many gases, they will trap the energy, they will trap all these energy which is going from sun, from earth into them, and in turns they will cause a warm environment, right? So what will happen, that all the water which is present on earth's surface, it will be evaporated. So when it evaporates, they'll go up. When it goes up, all the clouds will condense, and similarly there would be more snowfalls, more hails, more rainfalls. So when it's not the season of rainfall and we get rainfall, what happens then? Obviously it destroys everything going on in our surrounding. And then when there is more as there is more nitrogen dioxide in the air, so it will cause acid rain as well, right? Coming towards effect of global warming. So global warming can affect our environment in many ways. For example, desertification, increased melting of snow and ice, sea level rise, stronger hurricanes and cyclones. Desertification is clear to everyone. What happens in desertification? That is, the evaporation of water happens. So when evaporation of water happens, so all of the land would face scarcity of water, right? And that scarcity of water would cause no fields to grow. Similarly, increased melting of snow and ice, as I explained it, that when there is more heat, all the glaciers would melt faster at faster race, or at faster speed. Okay, accepted. Sea level rises, that is also clear to everyone. Stronger storms and cyclones. Here a word hurricane is used and cyclone are used. That is this. The meaning is same, but that is the strong wind coming in a watery area or in a sea or in an ocean, but it depends on the area, that if that is coming, or if the strong wind is at north side or if it is at south side, right? Remaining hurricane means a strong wind or disturbance in seas and oceans. So why do we face them? We face them because of the melting of glaciers, melting of ice, and except them increase of rainfall, because when evaporation happens to clouds condense. When clouds condense, they send rains, right? Okay, so I really hope the topic is clear, because it was very easy. Do read it. Wherever you feel any difficulty, please do ask. I don't think there would be anything hard to understand. So this activity would be done in the school lab. All right, so it's covered. Now what you have to do in your homework, you have to choose the correct option and see if there is any short question or long question left which we haven't done yet. So you have to do that. If you remember, I have given you a documentary, that is The Inconvenient Truth. You have to make a book then, right? So do start your work over it, and if there is anything hard, please do ask. All right, have a good day. Bye bye.